There are two great mysteries in life: what lies beyond death and why the Mona Lisa smiles that way. We don't have enough evidence about the first one. But as for the second, we can speculate. So let's put on our art detective gloves and unravel the enigma of the smile that has baffled viewers for centuries. So what makes her smile so special? The Mona Lisa's expression is far from ordinary. It's not a big grin, nor a sad grimace. It's something in between, like when you hear a bad joke but don't want to be impolite, or when you suddenly remember you forgot to pay your internet bill. But why is it so strange? Another reason her smile is so mesmerizing is that it seems to change depending on who's looking at it. If you stare at her straight on, she looks more solemn. If you catch her out of the corner of your eye, she suddenly appears more cheerful. It's almost like an art world Rorschach test. What you see in her smile reveals more about you than about her. That's why some people sense warmth and calmness, while others find it mysterious and slightly unsettling. Then there's the psychological factor. Our brains aren't fully wired to interpret such an ambiguous smile. We're programmed to look for clear expressions: happiness, sadness, anger. But the Mona Lisa defies this logic, making us wonder endlessly, what was she really feeling? And it's precisely this uncertainty that makes her so memorable. It's like a magic trick you can't figure out. Da Vinci didn't paint at random. He used a technique called sfumato, a painting style that creates subtle transitions between colors and shadows. Basically, he invented the very first Instagram filter. Because of this, the Mona Lisa's smile seems to disappear and reappear depending on the angle you view it from. It's as though Da Vinci was playing with our minds, making us wonder whether she's smiling or not. Mind-blowing, right? But sfumato wasn't Leonardo's only secret. There's evidence he applied a very thin glaze over each layer of paint, allowing him to achieve subtle effects of light and shadow. In practical terms, Da Vinci painted in slow motion, waiting days or even weeks between layers of paint so they could dry perfectly. If he lived today, he'd probably be a Photoshop wizard. Moreover, the Mona Lisa's eyes seem to follow you wherever you move in the room. This optical illusion was intentionally created by Da Vinci, using precise angles and shading. The effect is so strong that some museum goers feel like they're being watched. It's no wonder Da Vinci was a master not just of art, but of manipulating human perception. So it's not just the smile that's mysterious, the entire composition is. And there's one more thing. Some experts say the Mona Lisa isn't a realistic portrait at all, but a mental image. Da Vinci might have combined features from multiple women, creating an idealized face rather than a faithful likeness of a real person. That could explain why the painting has an almost otherworldly perfection, as though it were generated by an algorithm in the mind of a genius. Now let's get to the juiciest part. Who is the Mona Lisa, and why does she smile like that? There are several theories. First, she's pregnant. Some experts think the smile stems from the joy of pregnancy, based on the position of her hands and the fine veil she's wearing, or maybe she just had a huge meal and was daydreaming about dessert. Second, she's a secret self-portrait of Da Vinci. Word has it, Leonardo hid his own features in the Mona Lisa, essentially the first selfie in history. Digital analyses have even superimposed Da Vinci's facial structure onto the Mona Lisa, and the similarities are striking. If that's true, Da Vinci pulled off a unique artistic experiment, painting his own female alter ego. Third, she was ill. Some doctors believe the strange smile could be the result of an illness, maybe a mild facial paralysis. There's even a theory that she had hypothyroidism or high cholesterol, based on her skin pigment and lack of eyebrows, so maybe it's not a mysterious smile, just a medical issue. Kinda disappointing, right? Scientists have analyzed the Mona Lisa's smile, because what else were they going to do, and concluded it's 83% happiness, 9% disgust, 6% fear, and 2% anger. Sounds like a typical Monday, doesn't it? But how did they figure this out? Using facial recognition software, something Da Vinci likely never envisioned. Or maybe he did. Additionally, studies of the Mona Lisa's eyes and mouth suggest that the way shadows are positioned gives her that shifting expression. Our brain automatically fills in what's missing, which causes each viewer to perceive her smile differently. So in a sense, the painting doesn't change, but our perception of it does. And that's exactly the kind of illusion Da Vinci would have loved. What you might not know is that the Mona Lisa truly became world famous partly due to a reason. That wasn't very artistic. In 1911, the painting was stolen from the Louvre by an Italian named Vincenzo Peruggia. who'd actually worked there installing protective glass on artworks. The funny part is, he basically safeguarded his own heist. On a Monday, when the Louvre was closed, Perugia dressed as a worker, entered the museum as if he were on the job, removed the painting from the wall, wrapped it up, and exited through a side door. Nobody stopped him. Why? Because he looked like the right guy in the right place. Nobody suspected a staffer in a white smock. It took nearly 24 hours for anyone to notice that the Mona Lisa was missing. Once the alarm was raised, the police started investigating. Ironically, they suspected poet Guillaume Apollinaire, who was known as a cultural rebel, and even Pablo Picasso. Obviously they were innocent, but the public wanted a scapegoat. Meanwhile, Perugia was quietly at home with the Mona Lisa hidden under his bed. For 2 whole years the painting was basically his roommate, while the entire world wondered if some international crime syndicate had stolen it. The truth only came out in 1913, when Perugia tried to sell the Mona Lisa to an art dealer in Florence. He figured he'd make some decent cash, so he hopped on a train to Italy, the painting hidden in a suitcase. The dealer, suspecting it was the genuine article, alerted the police. Perugia was arrested on the spot, claiming patriotism. He believed he was bringing the painting home to Italy, under the assumption Napoleon had stolen it long ago. In reality, Da Vinci himself had brought the painting to France, and King Francis I had purchased it legally. After his arrest, the Mona Lisa was paraded around Italy like a movie star, shown in Florence, Rome, and Milan, before returning to the Louvre in 1914. Perugia ended up with a relatively light sentence of just a few months in prison. And here's the fascinating part. The theft turned the Mona Lisa into an art world superstar. Everyone across the globe was caught up in the search for the missing masterpiece, and newspapers covered the story obsessively. So, in a way, we can thank Perugia for the crazy fame the painting enjoys today. In the end, the Mona Lisa's smile remains a mystery. Maybe she was happy, maybe just tired from sitting still for hours under the watchful eye of a perfectionist artist. Maybe she was laughing at us, knowing that centuries later we'd still be making theories about her. One thing is certain, Da Vinci left us not just a masterpiece, but a puzzle that continues to fascinate the world. And ironically, the 1911 theft played a huge part in her legendary status. That's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-bending theories. Until next time, stay curious.